It's always exciting to get another victory. Winning college football games are not easy. A lot of work, a lot of man hours go into being prepared. The players worked really hard this past weekend, working towards victory. We preach winning the game Monday through Friday. We believe that Saturday is just a reaction to how the game, how preparation went throughout the week. And so our players came out. We took an early lead, and we were able to take it to the finish line. I think in some areas we did. There were definitely some areas where some more execution was left to be desired. But it's part of a long season. This is not a sprint. It's definitely a marathon. And so we're beginning to see the progress in the right direction week to week. We cleaned up a lot of mistakes, and we had a few logistical errors. A couple bad snaps that kind of stopped some key drives. But for the most part, we were assignment sound. And we played pretty physically on. We were physical, and the score takes care of itself is what we preach. Just do what you're supposed to do. Don't worry about the scoreboard. Just do what you've been taught. Execute great technique, and we'll more than likely get the result that we desire. Yeah. So what we do is throughout the week we make sure that Jake understands exactly what's happening. Not just Jake, but Laquan Williams as well. They're very involved in the game plan. They know what's going on. We don't have a separate call sheet for if the backup's in. We tell those guys to make sure that they are preparing as if they're going to be the starter. In college football, if your helmet comes off, you have to leave the field. So at any moment, the next guy has to be ready to go, and we expect them to be prepared. We talk to them about the Mesa Olympian standard of performance, and one of the key points in that is the fact that it doesn't matter to us who's on the field. We expect whoever's playing to be able to maintain that standard of performance. And so Jake did a very good job of preparing throughout the week, making sure that he knew all the checks and the audibles and the kill calls, and making sure that our offense was able to move smoothly if he was in the game. And so when he stepped in, there was no doubt in our mind that he would be able to do what was needed for us to continue having success Saturday evening. Yeah, again, our defense played really, really well. Our defense, I believe, held him to 117 total yards, which is absolutely amazing. They forced a number of turnovers. They were living in the backfield again, a large amount of tackles for a loss. Our defense is playing at a whole other level right now. I believe that they're leading the state or tied in the state for turnovers with 11. 11 through 3 games is absolutely amazing, and so we're hoping that they continue to progress and get better and, peak at the right moments. And, Coach John Jennings does an amazing job of making sure that they're ready each and every Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening to go out there and compete to the best of their ability and force that opposing offense to do things that they don't really want to do. And so it was exciting to see our defense play with such fire and passion Saturday night. A couple of the standouts were Devin Sanders, Mesa High grad, had 11 tackles. I believe he had 2 sacks. Hugh Anthony again was a force in the backfield. Isaiah Sells, he stepped up and lived in the opponent's backfield as well, making some plays on the defensive line. Secondary was again covering their guys up pretty well and keeping the ball in front of them with a number of PBUs and INTs. And so they're definitely a very exciting group to watch, and I can't wait to see how they perform again this weekend. So Grossmont's a perennial power here in the state. They have a couple national champions underneath their belts, and they are going to be a solid opponent this weekend. It's a rivalry game, crosstown rivalry. This game, not just for local bragging rights, but for recruiting bragging rights, it's a huge deal. It's also a game where you just take the records and you throw them out the window. It's going to be a street alley brawl, and so we're excited to play them. Coach Mike Jordan does a very good job of getting his guys ready. They look like they're going to be a formidable opponent for us this weekend, and we look forward to the opportunity of competing against them.